Alright, we're back and things are afoot. What things? That's right, it's another weapon. So, of the five weapons wandering around, one got shot in the face by a cannon, it dead. Four still going. This one, very slow at walking. I think we should crash into it with our spaceship, our airship. That's just what I think. You may think different. Right, rearrange my desktop, one moment. What's wrong? It's a strange signal. From where? It's coming from this person? Wow. Hey, Kate Sith and/or Sirsmokes is a person. Parentheses question mark close parentheses. That was a surprise. The controls went crazy. This ain't good. Weapon came out of the sea and is heading straight for Midgar. The new weapon should stop him, right? I don't know if it's ready or not. Hey, what's gonna happen to Marlene? Don't you worry, none. Marlene's in a safe place. She's with Eris's mama. That may not be safe if weapon comes, right? Barrett. What was that scratching just now? As long as Marlene is safe, who cares what else happens, right? I've been itching to say this to you for a while now. When you blew the Midgar #1 up, how many folks do you think died? That was for the life of the planet. You gotta expect a few casualties. A few? What do you mean, a few? What maybe a few to y'all is everything to them who died. Protect the planet, huh? Y'all sure sound good. Ain't no one that'd go against you, so you think you can do whatever y'all want. Um, there were a lot of people going against Avalanche. This isn't. That's just not true, right? And certainly not true from Shinra. There's part of that that's true, but the second part, just objectively not true. Like, no even way to pretend it's true. I don't want to hear that from no one in Shinra. Nothing I can do about that. Stop it. Sirsmokes. Barrett. He knows what he did. What he did in Midgar can't be forgotten, no matter what the reason. Right? We haven't forgotten, right? I know you. You can't quit the company because you're worried about the people in Midgar, right? Cloud? Okay, let's go. We'll beat Weapon ourselves. Cloud could not care less. Hey, Cloud. You think we can win against that monster? We got a chance of winning, right? How would I know? That's no reason for us to just let him go. We're going to Midgar and fight Weapon. Come on, let's move. So this is kind of curious. As it, walks towards Midgar, you could run around the map and do other stuff. You don't have like infinite time, but you can see it here. If we run into it, hey, hey, what are you trying to do? Break the high wind? Let's fight on the ground. So we're gonna bounce off it a few times. Oops, I missed. Probably easier to do if I maneuver like this. Yeah. We just have to wait for it to reach land. Won't take too long, but it's sort of a curious thing. Gives you time if you like lost sense of where you were to go find it. While we're here, let's take a look at Midgar, because you can see the cannon is set up, and we can see which direction it's pointed. It is pointed to the north, which luckily is where this is coming from. But you can also see if we follow its trajectory, past Bone Mountain. Okay, maybe it's a little off, or I'm a little off, but it's headed. But what the hell was that? That came buzzing past here like a powerhouse. As you can see, the northern crater is protected. If we let Weapon reach Midgard, that is a game over. So let's not do that. Let's wait for it on the shore. Maybe try to fight it on the beach. What else is going on? Yeah, so it's one of those things like if you want to give that line to Kate Sith, right? What they're trying to get at is very clearly Kate Sith keeps working for Shinra because that leaves Reeve in a position where he can try to do something to mitigate damage, to keep the people of Midgar safe. He's in industrial development. He cares about, you blowing up both part of the industry, but part people. Um, but then you give them these lines about no one up ready to stand up to you when in fact you're like fighting Shinra the whole way, right? This is just obviously ridiculous, right? This is pretending like Avalanche was the great power there, which is just obviously not the case. So this enemy is actually going to be, for our purposes, kind of the most powerful enemy in the game. That's not really true. We're going to steal from it because Tifa can't wreck it. So that's a shame. Um, so I forget exactly how this fight works. I think we have to just wait a little while. But let's look at Hades. Oh no, we already looked at Hades once. Um, Shame you can't queue up attacks during a summon. But Tifa has a lot of MP because we never use it for anything else. So let's see what happens. Maybe it's weak to something. I have no idea. I think it's weak to lightning or something because it's a big like machine type thing. But I don't think that makes it relevant to anything Hades does. But we'll see because Hades does all status effects. Hades does good damage. So we'll have to use spells. But this will be, very sadly... Oh, we have Bolt. Alright, let's throw out a Bolt too. Only one target, but yeah. Again, this is the one fight Tifa can't just end. So she gets automatic death because she had death sentence, but we have protect... Wait, what? Did I not protect against that? Does Hades not protect against death? That makes some sense. Okay. Embarrassing for all, but we can queue up a heal afterwards. So there's the curse effect, and I in fact did not set up for her to be resistant to it. We'll keep throwing out some bolts here. Tifa really doesn't have much she can do if Deathblow doesn't do anything. So we'll slowly chip it down. Hardest fight in the game for us? It's not a particularly hard fight. I think I forgot about stealing from it. I don't actually think it is that much we care about. I feel like it's like a Vincent or a Yuffie weapon. Do limit breaks do damage here? There's a question. I don't know why I'm healing so much, but I'm just curious. Alright, limit breaks do damage. So there must be some like kind of pierce value. Countdown. Seems bad. I'm just gonna stay healed. I don't actually remember what it counts down to, so I'm kind of excited. Maybe I'll just get wrecked. Who knows? Keep bolting away. Probably should use Tifa to heal. May as well high potion here. And Trine, I think, is electric. So let's throw out a Trine. That's pretty cost efficient too. Oh, Bloodfang, I think, heals, so I could have used that to heal red. Well, this will heal red. Okay, good. Alright, well, that's not much healing, but it's some. Oh, and it's MP. That's very pleasant. We can keep on bolting. Anywho, Trine seems pretty good here, so we'll keep throwing that out. Alright, countdown 0. Diamond Flash. What you got? Seems bad for me. Ooh, it is bad. I wonder if that's percentage damage, because you'll notice it didn't KO anyone. No, maybe set is just a large amount of damage that we happen to just narrowly survive because we were close to full. But it also could be one of those ones that hits everything for... I guess the percentage wouldn't quite get the differences we have left, but Not Tifa's best fight. It is a shame. I like that Nanaki gets back MP though. I didn't realize Bloodfang did that. That's quite pleasant. It means we can just keep chucking fairly big cost things, and then whenever he gets limit breaks, we're good to go. Oh, I didn't mean to use Master Magic. That was dumb. We'll throw more high potions with Tifa. She has nothing to do. Guess get healed. Stupid enemies that resist physical damage. They know about Tifa. Maybe weapons just are the most powerful thing in the universe. What can we do? Probably should just use Bolt 3 with Piggy, given that we know he can regain MP. But I'm stingy, and I don't respect this enemy. I don't want to admit that I should use more powerful moves. Who are we going after Cloud there? Alright, nothing too much happening today. I was talking to someone about some broadcasters for some game that he was just like, this guy just has nothing to say, and whenever there's empty space, he starts saying the most basic things on the planet, like, you know, the equivalent of kind of to kill an enemy, you have to do damage to them. I sometimes fear I'm, filling space the same way, where I just obviously have nothing to say and just am talking because someone should be talking. But we did it. We did it. But not too much to say there. And I can't even celebrate Tifa in a fight. She did 0 damage the whole fight. Alright, weapons bored of me. And headed for Midgar. With a sort of cloak-like thing. Got a bit of sin to him. To this one. Something's wrong. No, it's feeling something. Yeah, it senses murder. I do want to say, I like that there is some guilt from Barrett and from Tifa about what happened. I guess Cloud just has none whatsoever, which is a little weird. But I think there should be guilt from them, but they can have guilt and also think what they did is right. And I think the game frames Kate Sith there a little weirdly because I think what they did is something which, like, sometimes doing the right thing is also something that should leave you feeling guilty, right? This is if you don't feel guilty when you cause significant harm, something's wrong, and sometimes you have to do significant harm. And there would be some people who would say if it's the right thing to do, you shouldn't feel guilt. I think that's just wrong. And I think the people who do that are going to stop reliably doing the right thing because if they don't feel guilt for that, they're not going to be able to judge what is right and wrong very well. So I think for it to be kind of believable and meaningful in a character and for us to kind of continue valuing them and caring about them, I think there's this kind of tricky space you have to land in. And I think the game is clearly gesturing with not particularly good writing towards that, but doing so through the really not good vessel of Kate Sith, who really gets the lines all wrong here. And for me, it gets bogged down by Kate Sith just saying some stuff that's just blatantly not true. So this is one of those scenes where, like, if they had a different way to get there than Kate Sith, and if the writing was better, I think this would be a somewhat compelling and important scene, and was an important scene to include. Cloud's eyes look so close and angry here. Um, but I think as is, bad scene, and Kate Sith sucks. Kate Sith's the worst character in the game. I've talked about gameplay stuff before, but on a character thing, yeah, Kate Sith is bad. And I think it's funny when let's go to the airship. I think it's funny when Kate Sith has the melodramatic death, like I talked about that earlier. I find that entertaining and such an interesting contrast with Eris's. Oh no, let's hurry out of here. Something big. I'm talking really big's coming. Bigger than Weapon? But that said, Kate Sith really bungled this scene, and it's a kind of uncomfortably bad scene. Ha ha ha, Mr. President. You're supposed to say kya ha ha, I think. No, kya ha ha. I'm confused. confusing the sidekicks. Preparations for Sister Ray are now in order. Ha ha ha. Any time is fine. Fire. Alright. Sister Ray versus Weapon. The cannon has defeated one weapon. The cannon has defeated one weapon. And there's a lot of energy in those reactors in Midgar. Yeah. We may not have set up, Shinra may not have set up base in the Promised Land where there's even more energy, but this is clearly the largest containment of energy. Incidentally, nice job showing like the area around Midgar as kind of immediately blighted, right? Once you get further out, it becomes like nice grass, but the close area is all kind of blighted because Midgar is destroying the part of the planet that's close to them. All your lights go out, you know something must be shooting because it's using all the energy they've got. This isn't quite how cannons work, but maybe it's how magical cannons work. That's okay. Looks cool. See those pistons go. Man, maybe more energy than they had power for. That's a cloud-like gesture, the shove the hair back from Rufus over there. Alright. The previous weapon did a little damage to Junin, but not too much. We'll see how this weapon does versus Midgar. Which direction is it going to attack from? Midgar. Marlene. Alright, so I'm going both ways. Get that high wind out of there. Get him. This is my least talkative episode in a while. Alright, stop talking about yourself. Talk about what's going on. Damn. Went right through weapon. I see. They're after Sephiroth, the crater on the northern boundary. It was coming right in a line with the northern boundary from Midgar. They were not, in fact, shooting to hit weapon. They were trying to break the boundary. They succeeded. Shout out to Shinra. Did something helpful. Operator. Sir, weapon's been defeated. The barrier has disappeared. Now, from that video from the cutscene we just saw, I wouldn't be fully confident weapon is defeated, but I think that is the second weapon going down. I think that is true, but watching it, I wouldn't be so sold. I'd expect another cutscene for it to stand back up. A massive high-density energy is headed towards Midgar. Whoa, weapons attacking. Run for your lives. Ooh. So, this might count as a small spoiler. I don't think it is one. That is actually the end of Rufus in this game, which was really surprising to me. What happened to Sephiroth? That there's no final kind of showdown with Rufus or final redemption or failure to Rufus, right? So let's talk a little about Rufus. He comes in and he says his father did it the hard way, right? His father ruled the world on money. He's not going to do that. That takes too much work. Easier to rule it on fear. He fights Cloud. He uses the helicopter to get away. And from then on, he's sending his people around to do two things. One is they have to deal with the Sephiroth problem. Sephiroth's real scary. He killed the previous president. He broke out Genova. Three things. 2, they want things that bring power. We see his lackeys checking out, for instance, the reactor in Gungaga to see if there's anything powerful there. They are looking for things that are powerful. And 3, and most importantly, they want the promised land. They want the infinite energy it offers, and they want to turn that into money. But we also have to assume, given that it's Rufus rather than his dad, that they want to turn it into kind of invincible military dominance because he wants to rule the world with fear, not with money. Now, when it comes to Meteor, he does help all characters but Cloud escape, and it's unclear what he wants to do with them until they decide Meteor is not stoppable. We'll just execute them. That will keep the people calm, make it look like we're doing something. These are the villains we're putting forth, and they went to execute us. They failed, and then Rufus set in motion a number of plans to both try to deal with Meteor and try to deal with Sephiroth, the two problems that we can both, us, our party, and him agree are problems. He decides we're going to blow the rocket, we're going to shoot the rocket into Meteor with the huge materia in it. We idiotically stole the huge materia, which we can just use as a kind of get cool materia at the end of the game, don't care. We stole the huge materia, and then the rocket did crash into Meteor. Would it have done better with the huge materia in it? Well, if you fail those missions, it's exactly the same cutscenes, but the characters don't know that, so we shouldn't have done that. That plan doesn't work, though. Then he also has to get rid of the barrier and try to get at Sephiroth. He does set up the cannon. He takes out 2 weapons with the cannon, one in Junin and one in Midgar, and also does successfully destroy the barrier. Now, does this make him good or give redemption? Obviously not, right? But he also does not want the world to literally end. Does it make him good? No, right? Your ally in the world not literally ending is lots of people from good to bad, right? But it's curious they don't give him any kind of final moments to declare an ethic or anything, or a further ethic. So I think what's important is what we're left with, right? Is we know what he was, and we know we were in some sense allies against the world ending, but at the same time we weren't allies because he'd rather execute us than leave us around if he thinks there's no gain from having us around, right? Very major villain to the FF7 universe. And it's obvious at this point, right? Sephiroth is a bigger villain to the FF7 universe, or Sephiroth Genova, whatever combination of that you want, and that you think is the kind of controlling figure there. But I think through this point in the game, it would be very reasonable to consider Rufus the next most important villain. And I don't think he is. And I think the game is quite confident he isn't. I would also point out that Shinra was very bad before him. And with him out of the picture, we're left with people in charge like Heidegger and Scarlet, and that's not great either. What happened to Sephiroth? Northern Cave. Let's go see what happened to it. Alright, I have control. Nice. Learner pilot, level 14. Let's wait actually a sec. I'm going to heal up. And at this point, I know, because we saw we heal MP, always use up Red's MP because Red gets it back. But actually, I'm being an idiot. We should just run over to the other cabin and get a full heal, including MP, and then we'll return and see what's up with Northern Cave. At this point in the game, a bunch more side quest stuff has opened up. I'm going to just leave all of that for the final disc. Oh, except that might not work. It might be if we don't do Wu Tai now, we never get to. I don't remember. I think everything else we can go do in disc 3, but maybe we can't do that. So let's talk a little about Wu Tai. Wutai is where Yuffie is from. They were the place that the war that was talked about a bit in the early game happened against, that soldiers went off and fought. Sephiroth was the great hero of the war that Cloud wanted to be. And it was basically a like colonial imperialistic war against a very kind of Chinese coded culture. And Yuffie is from that culture. And yeah, I think I'm not going to do the side quest because it's not very fun, to me at least. There's some funny things that happen. Uh, basically, Don Corneo has his return, the lecherous old man that we cross dressed to sneak into his mansion. And what else happens there? Yuffie steals our materia and betrays us for a bit, but eventually comes back. There's a set of levels you can beat that get some things. Yeah, I think we'll just skip it. There's some amusement there, but she takes all your materia, and then when she gives it back, she rearranges it badly. And that just annoys me, and I don't feel like rearranging it. And I especially don't feel like rearranging it in a playthrough where I'm recording the whole thing, so I like will feel the obligation to talk while I'm putting things back. And yeah, we just don't need to suffer through this. Let's go check out the Northern Cave. So if there are any side quests that this misses out other than Wutai, I think it will miss Wutai. But if it misses anything else, apologies. Again, as is very obvious from how I've talked throughout, I'm not gonna do a ton of side quests. I'm just gonna do the stuff that appeals to me. Sephiroth's energy barrier is gone. Sid, can the airship get inside? Huh? It's my student, ain't he? Of course he can go anywhere. Right, sorry about that. Yo, sirsmokes, now what? Hold it. Scarlet, Heidegger, what's going on? This is the scene that makes it very clear that Kate Sith is controlled by Reeve. Because there's one person here. Strange. I can't reach the president. Not the president, to Sister Ray. What is it, Reeve? You're speaking strangely. None of that matters. The reactor's output is increasing all by itself. Wait a minute, that's not wise. It must cool for 3 hours or it won't work. Reeve, shut off the machine. We can't do that. It's inoperable. Someone has switched the machine over to mainframe operation. Now that's real weird, given that all the power players left in Shinra that I mentioned earlier are right in this room. Who's left? We can't operate it from here. What about the mainframe? Who? Hey, call the mainframe. Huh? Why are you giving orders? I don't give a damn about the details. We know that man there. Just you wait, Sephiroth. I'll give you all the Mako you want. Hojo, stop! The cannon, no. Midgar itself is in danger. 1 or 2 Midgars. It's a small price to pay. Hojo! Show me, Sephiroth. It should be near. Go beyond the powers of science. Before your presence, science is powerless. I hate it, but I'll concede to it. Just let me see it. Alright. I think this is the moment when Hojo becomes made clear as the game's secondary villain. I've seen people argue he's the primary villain because he is the cause of much of what goes wrong. He is the cause of Genova's cells being put in so many places. He is the cause of the creation of Sephiroth. We have learned through side quest stuff, through a little exploring stuff, that Sephiroth is Hojo's son with Lucretia, which makes Vincent's backstory important here. Sephiroth is his son. He created something powerful, and now he wants to see that power is not the way he wanted the greatest power to be obtained. He wanted it through science, but he's going to support it nonetheless as long as he can observe it, right? But if you look at the problems in FF7, a whole lot of them come back to him. But I think sometimes people overrate this by saying all the problems come back to him. And he didn't create Shinra, right? He didn't create this company that exists to exploit the world for profit, right? And exploit people for profit too, but especially the planet. So I think while he is the explicit creation of Sephiroth, you know, the wheel keeps on turning, right? Whether he's pushing it or not. There's there's this company and like I said earlier, when the president died and Rufus took over, what it does and that it's going to keep doing so profitably and it's going to try to hold on to its power. The iron law of institutions is they will act to protect and reinstantiate themselves or keep themselves in positions of power. I think is very relevant here. So I would say Hojo is behind a lot of the bad things that happen, but not all. And he is a huge villain in the game and the secondary antagonist of this game. Maybe tertiary, depending on how much you divide up Genova and Sephiroth. Yo, do something, you big cat. Actually, not a huge cat, more a big doll the cat stands on. We're sunk. Hojo's doing this on his own. Huh? I don't like this. You're busted, Reeve. Too late trying to hide it now. Can't you stop the Mako reactor? We can't stop it. You're from Shinra, ain't you? So why is it impossible? Came a long way to get here. You better not double-cross us now. I can't make you trust me. You damn fool. Don't you understand anything I'm saying? I don't give a damn about Shinra. If you're a man, no. If you're a human being. There you go, Sid. Going slightly beyond your gender norms. Well done. High standards for Sid. Maybe not for other characters. You'll save the planet. Don't you even care? Though actually, no, it probably wasn't going beyond gender norms. He was probably saying a lower bar. I take it all back. He was probably not saying, like, no, it's not about being a man, it's about being a person. He was probably saying, no, it's not about being, you don't have to be a man, you just have to be a person, right? A significantly lower bar. Okay, not great from Sid. I was rooting for you, Sid. No way. If we shut down the reactor, all hell will break loose. Why? Can't you just shut off the valve? Yeah, it's easy to shut off the reactor's pipe valves, but the reactor made a path for the energy to escape from below. Once you open that, it'll be impossible to close it until everything blasts out. And we can't try to stop the energy from gushing out. An explosion. This blast will be way stronger than when the #1 reactor blew up. Damn. Forget about that. The cannon. We've got to get to Midgar. That's the first thing. Must stop Hojo. First. Alright. So, I think that's going to be... Okay, we've got more scenes. Looks like Cloud and the others are on their way. Stay out of the way. Don't be so ludicrous. I don't recall you giving me any orders. The peace preservation will give their best effort to make the enemy retreat. Because of them, aye. That's a private matter. The president is dead. Now I'm doing things my way. Heidegger. Now I'm going to use the new weapon. Hey, wait. Cloud, everybody, sorry. But I like the notion of Reeve having a little remote control he's holding during these to run Kate Sith. But you'll come, won't you? I know. Hey, I'm leaving the ship in your hands. I'm heading for Midgar. Alright. Okay, so I had something else I wanted to do, which was I wanted to switch Tifa's materia so she doesn't die if the 60 seconds ever run out. because that was not ideal, right? We could heal her, and we were ready to heal twice, but the game plan is if something does happen to resist magic, probably shouldn't just die. So let's switch Hades back to Odin. That should prevent against that. And let's put it on. I forgot Quadra Magic was with Comet. That would have been good with Lightning in the last fight. Um, let's do a few things. Let's move Ultima over with Quadra Magic. Let's swap out Elemental for Hades. I think that's it. Yeah, looks reasonable to me. And we'll grab the heal because that every time you change stats, right? Like you put on a new materia, it has like HP plus some percentage, MP minus some percentage, and so as soon as you change them, when it changes, like one goes from 100 to 90, right? It drops your HP from 100 to 90, and then when you change it again and that HP maximum goes to 100, suddenly you're on 90 out of 100 HP. And so anytime you do much materia swapping about, you're likely to end up with not fully healed in both stats. Not too important. All right, we're gonna land and save and call it, and next time we will embark on Midgar, which amusingly, he's on limit break, because he's taking charge. Amusingly, there is a scene. Maybe we've already done it. I think we already did it. One of those scenes where you're watching Reeve in Midgar. I never went to this house, not important house, Chocobo Sage. Uh, During that scene, if you leave the scene, like during the scene, they actually left invisibly, like behind the image you see, so you can't see it. A character model of you is there and can move while they're talking. And if you run in some direction, maybe down, um, you can run that character out of the screen, and that just skips you past Midgar. The game interprets that as like you leaving a room you shouldn't be in, or like that only happens later. So it sets off what happens after that, and what happens when that room is left is basically it decides, oh, you finished the disc, and you just skip Midgar and you skip to disc 3. We will not be doing that because Midgar has some great stuff in it, and we're going to need to pick that stuff up. So, yeah, nothing too much happened this time, but a weapon was defeated, huge villain was killed. You know, things are afoot. We are very much speeding towards the end game here.